So for today, we're going to start with medians. What a median is the segment that connects the midpoint of one side of the triangle with the opposite corner of the triangle. So what we're going to do is, to begin with, I'm going to look at one side of the triangle. I'm going to be looking at this side. I have a rough idea where the middle is, somewhere around here. So yesterday, we did a construction of the perpendicular bisector at a segment across 90 degrees to the middle. So I'm going to open my compass. I'm going to center it at one corner of my segment, and I'm going to make sure my compass opens more than the middle. So I'm going to make an arc on one side, and I'm going to make an arc on the other side. I'm going to move my corner to the opposite side of the segment. I'll make my arcs. I'm going to grab my ruler, and that gives me the median. Well, that gives me my midpoint, I mean. So if you notice, if I was to connect my whole segment, I'm really just interested in where do I cross my side of the triangle. Now I'm gonna grab the ruler. I'm gonna connect that intersection with the opposite corner. Because remember I said a median is the segment that connects the midpoint of a segment with the opposite corner. And in this case, let me connect, and that gives me the median. All right. Now, let me find another side. I'm going to look at another side, this side here at the right. Once again, I'm going to center my compass somewhere. I'm going to center my compass at the end of the segment. I'm going to open my compass such that it's open to more than the middle. I'm going to do an arc on one side. I'm going to do the arc on the other side. I move the compass to the opposite side right there. I do another arc right here. I grab my ruler to connect the two intersections. And what I'm doing with this, basically, I'm looking for the point in the middle. Because remember, it crosses at 90 degrees through the middle. So I'm really just interested of where is the midpoint of that segment. As soon as I find it, I grab my ruler, I connect it to my opposite corner of that triangle, and that will give me the median. In that case, let me do it with blue. Now I'm gonna do it for a third time. I'm gonna look at the side that haven't worked. I'm gonna center my compass at one endpoint. I'm gonna open my compass such that it goes more than the middle. So I'm gonna do an arc here, arc here. Now move it to the opposite side. Actually, let me this arc. Let me make it bigger. So I'm gonna move it to the opposite side of my segment. I'm gonna do arc there, an arc here. I'm gonna grab my ruler. Once again, what this thing does, it crosses the bottom side of the triangle at 90 degrees through the middle. All I'm really interested is the middle of the segment. So that's why I mark it with that. Now I'm gonna grab my ruler. I'm gonna connect that intersection to the opposite corner. And there in blue, we see all the medians. Now, what's the importance of the median? I'm gonna look at my example number 2, which in you guys' case is question number 7. It says locate the centroid of each triangle. Basically, I'm gonna find the medians. The point where they intersect is the centroid. So notice how for my example number 1, my centroid right there, that's where all three medians intersect. So to find the centroid, I just need two medians. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to find the midpoint of one segment. I'm looking at this segment on the left. I'm going to center my compass at one endpoint of the segment. I'm gonna make an arc on one side of the segment, make an arc on the other side. I'm gonna move my compass to the opposite side of the segment. Make these intersections just so I can find the midpoint of that segment. So I'm just gonna, if I connect to my midpoints, once again, I'm just interested on the midpoint of the segment. And the reason why I want the midpoint of the segment, because then I'm gonna grab my ruler, I'm gonna connect that intersection with the opposite corner. And that gives me a median. So once again, all I did was I wanted to find the midpoint of one segment, and I did the perpendicular bisector. And the reason why I did the perpendicular bisector, because it crosses the 90 degrees through the middle, and I wanted to find the midpoint. As soon as I find the midpoint, I connect it to the opposite corner, and that's a median. All right, now let me do the same thing with another side. So I'm gonna grab my compass. I'm gonna look at this side on the right. I'm gonna center my compass at the end of the segment. I'm gonna make sure I open my compass to more than the middle. And I'm gonna do, with red, I'm gonna do an arc here. I'm gonna do an arc on this other side. I move my compass to the opposite side of the segment. And I do an arc there, an arc here. Now I'm gonna grab my ruler. I'm gonna connect those two intersections. And all I want, the reason why I make that intersection is because I want to find out the midpoint of the segment. See, so I marked there. Now I'm gonna connect that midpoint to the opposite corner. In this case, let me do it blue. That gives me another median. I can do the third median, but I know that all three are gonna intersect at the same point. So the point of intersection there, I'm gonna put a little C, and that's gonna be called the centroid. You might ask, well, what's the importance of a centroid? The centroid is the point of the center of gravity of the triangle. So that's what the centroid is important. So find two medians, and then the point of intersection, that's where the centroid is. So on your paper, the front, the first six questions, my example number one, I just want you to practice with the medians. Now on the back, I gave you six questions, 7 through 12, where I want you to find the centroid. You only need two medians for the centroid.